My name is Chris Costello. I'm fighting out at Total MMA Studios in Tustin, California, and this is going to be my third fight for BAMMA. Yeah, I've been with BAMMA just a little over probably a year and a half, and yeah, my first fight with you guys was Gil Guardado, and lost that fight, and he's a super tough guy. And after that, just like I told you in my previous interviews, I kind of took like a year off from there. I felt like God was kind of calling me away from MMA for a while to figure some other things out, getting involved, with some other things in my church and different things, which ended up being a really good thing for me. I felt called back to it, and that's when I took the fight with Matt Bahngte, and that went well. The training camp leading up to it went well, and the fight went awesome. I couldn't be more happy with it, and so now it's kind of just like I said before, kind of now climbing the ladder and getting back into it. So I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to get back in there and continue this. Nick's definitely more experience. He's got about 10 more fights than me. I've got 4. He's got 14. So he's definitely a little more veteran, more seasoned than I am. But I enjoy that. I train with guys who are seasoned. I train with guys who are veteran, who have been there. I mean, more seasoned, more veteran, more experience. So I don't necessarily feel like I'm an underdog. We have an even record. I'm 2-2. He's 7-7. So we're both 50-50. I think experience shows. Being seasoned shows when you're in the cage, but I'm not necessarily intimidated or worried about that. I'll respect that, certainly. I respect a guy who's been in the cage that many times and had that many fights under his belt. So it's looking good, and Nick, he looks like a good fighter. I've watched some of his stuff. I haven't done as much research on him up to this point as I probably will be leading up to the fight. I'm still going to be looking into him more and kind of digging deeper on the details and stuff of his technique and style. But from what I see, he's a scrapper. He's a tough guy, and the fact that he's had 14 fights, kind of tells a story of he doesn't quit, he doesn't give up, he keeps going, and I respect that. So I think it's going to be a good fight. That's really cool. My biggest fan base as of right now is from my church, the Cause Community Church, which is awesome. I think it's because I've invested so much time in there and in relationships and getting to know people. Since I've kind of moved down here, I moved here alone. So, basically the people that I interact with the most are people here at my gym and the people at my church. So, as far as them all being supportive and having my back, it's a huge blessing, and it's awesome. I mean, they love it, whenever I'm at church, people are always like, "Oh, Chris, when's your next fight?" Or they're interested in it, and surprisingly enough, I'm out of as big of a church as it is, I'm one of the only fighters there. So it's kind of like a special thing, I guess you could say, at the church, which, it's fun, it's cool, because people are into it, people are excited about it. I have one of my sponsors, actually 2 of my sponsors, are from the church, so they're interested in it, they love it, they are always curious about it, they're supportive, and they want to always know when my next fight is, and they're going to be there on October 25th, so I have a huge fan base out of my church, huge support. So having all my teammates, having Christian, Dave, EJ, all 4 of us fighting on this same card for BAMMA, all of us, whether it's just one guy on the card, from our gym, or 5 guys, we're all going to be training hard for it. But I think the fact that we have, all 4 of us are fighting for the same night, the same card, we're all fighting together. I think that's just, if anything, it just boosts morale. It makes us more, excited we're excited for each other. We're training together, we're getting each other ready for our fights, and I think it's just going to be a fun night, man. Total MMA Studios is going to bring it on that night. So yeah, October 25th, it's going to be all about Total MMA. Similarities, I would say, between being a Christian and being a fighter, honestly, God's a fighter. There's so many characteristics of God, so many things in the Bible and stories in the Bible of being a warrior, being a fighter, and that's not to say that we're to be mean or aggressive or violent, all the time, because I'm loving, like, you probably won't meet a whole lot of people that love you as much, but I mean, God's a warrior. It says in the Bible to be a fighter, to be a warrior, and that's a characteristic, that some people have and that some people are called to. So for me, I think, especially in the gym, I mean, Giuliano and just the rules and kind of the demeanor and character of jiu-jitsu and of MMA here at the gym at Total MMA Studios is really all about discipline, about respect, about honor, and those are all traits and things that we as Christians strive to be. and want to be. So I think that they go hand in hand, you know, as being a warrior, being a fighter, but being respectful, being on, you know, having honor, respecting others, and I think those things go hand in hand. I think they contribute to each other, and you know what I mean, help each other. I mean, whenever you come off a win, especially when you come off a win after a loss, it does something for your confidence. It does something for you mentally, because you know, if you're just losing all the time, you're gonna go in there being like, all right, I hope I don't lose this one. So when you come off a win, it helps your confidence, because you know, okay, I have what it takes to win a fight. I have what it takes to go in that cage, and, you know, at BAMMA, at Commerce Casino, and I can go in there and leave with my hand raised. I have what it takes to do that. So yeah, absolutely. After that fight with Matt, you know, boosted my confidence. Definitely put it in my mind and in my heart that, yeah, I'm a pro fighter who can win pro fights, and I can come out with the W. I can get my hand raised. I have what it takes. So yeah, absolutely. After that fight, definitely my confidence has been boosted, and you know, I'm confident in myself and what I can do, and confident for this fight. Hit me up on Facebook, Chris T. Costello. I'm the only Chris T. Costello on Facebook, so it shouldn't be too hard. I want to give a shout out to Acai Republic, Versa Climber, Brian Sands at everyonelovesex.org. He's coming out with a new book, new cool website. It's actually really cool. Check it out. It's not what you think it is. And George Nunez at SQ Square Technologies. Yeah, big shout out to him. Really thankful for George. Huge support, huge sponsor. I'm Chris Costello, fighting Nick Reale, Badbeat 11, October 25th. Come out, it's gonna be a great night of fights.